bacon.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Reverse BLT here. I got home last night and the latest episode of WandaVision, which is the season finale, entitled the series finale. So I'm going to go series finale then. Had just dropped, but I was too tired. I was worn out from a long week, so I didn't watch it right then and there. And then got inundated by messages from friends wondering if I had seen it yet so they could talk about it. So here we are the next day. I'm nicely rested, and I'm going to go ahead and see how this journey that my favorite comic book couple has been on for the past 8 episodes now, how it all comes to an end. I'm hoping that somehow Wanda and Vision have a happy ending. But I remember from the comics that things don't tend to go well for Wanda. She doesn't really tend to have happy endings. But one can keep one's fingers crossed. Um, a lot happened in the last episode. Obviously, Agatha Harkness took Wanda on a journey down memory lane, and we discovered. I mean, people considered retconning, but honestly, I think a lot of this stuff was seeded earlier in the MCU as sort of options that they could explore if certain legal things happen, to give them a few more options on which characters they could use, which storylines they could use, etc. Uh, for instance, Stark technology is famously reliable. Famously reliable. The fact that Wanda and Pietro were able to survive having a Stark bomb land in their living room, feet from them, that never went off. I don't think that was a coincidence. I think that was an example of the team over at Marvel realizing that if they ever got the chance to bring mutants into things, to make magic a bigger part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe than it was at the time, that they had this option to not even really do a retcon. They could just say, look, this is what happened. She clearly used a probability hex to alter this bomb so that it wouldn't explode. This isn't hammer technology. This isn't some other, low rate hardware manufacturer. This was Stark Tech. Stark Tech works. A Stark bomb blows up. You know what I mean? So I don't think that was a retcon at all. I think that was just very clever use of withholding certain information while providing certain kernels of information that they could use later to open up their universe. It's really amazing seeing all these great comic book storylines, these plot threads that have happened so long ago that I barely even remembered them. Like when I saw White Vision, for instance, at the end credits of the last episode, I knew it was important, and it was tickling a memory, but I couldn't remember it. I mean, White Vision was so long ago. I think that was the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, that the White Vision became a thing. But like I remember certain things, like for instance when she went to Sword and saw Vision's body disassembled down in the operating theater. That was right from the comics. That's like literally almost like a panel ripped straight from the comics. And little things like that. So it's really great to me how the MCU takes these older storylines, these lesser known storylines, and especially for characters that a lot of the people who are now fans of the MCU don't really know a whole lot about, but who have these rich histories to draw from, and then actually make something interesting about it. I've been thoroughly enjoying this series, both because, as I said, Wanda and Vision are my favorite comic book couple. I've always rooted for them, even though their stars are definitely crossed. And also because I am a big fan of sitcoms. I grew up with them. I both the ones that were contemporaneous to me as well as older ones that I watched through reruns and through when Nick at Night became a thing. I used to watch a lot of these with my grandma, along with soap operas, but that's a whole other story.
I'm watching my stories, man.
And so seeing them pay such faithful and loving homage to a lot of the history of television, that was a lot of fun for me. So I was glad to see it. But I'm also, of course, glad to see things developing from the comic book storyline as well. So I'm curious to see whether Agatha will remain on this sort of villainous portrayal that we have going for her right now. My gut says she won't, because in the comics, Agatha was always more of a sort of chaotic, neutral kind of character who wasn't ever really a villain. More often than not, she was there to help Wanda, and also often the Fantastic Four. So I don't really expect her to be a true villain. I expect that she has some sort of goal that she thinks is important, and I think she felt Wanda's magic from far away and wondered if A, what was going on, and B, if the person casting this much magic could help her with some problem that she's probably facing on her own. I don't really expect a villain to really give a damn about the damage that a Chaos Witch can do to the world. You know what I mean? So there were moments in the last episode during in Agatha's behavior that made me feel like she wasn't really a bad person. Like the little tear up during her scene with Vision, with Wanda's interaction with Vision. I don't think that was an act, because Wanda couldn't even see her at the moment. You put on an act for nobody, that's not really, doesn't make sense. I think that it was getting to her a little bit, which demonstrates that she's not heartless. And I think that she has enjoyed her interactions with the twins too. I think she's trying to be a little standoffish, probably because as a practiced, experienced witch, she knows that there's not really much reason to believe that these children will survive the inevitable demise of this reality that Wanda has created. So I think she's just trying to keep them a little bit at arm's reach, so she doesn't suffer loss when they die. Well, if they cease to exist, you know what I mean? But I don't know. Maybe I'm giving her too much credit, but I don't think that considering all of the Easter eggs and lore drops and everything, the clear attention to the past that the MCU, the people steering the ship, as it were, have demonstrated so far, I don't think they would take this character and alter her fundamentals that severely. They always tend to kind of preserve their general alignment, even when they make changes to characters. So I'm expecting Agatha to end up being a neutral person who mostly wants, at the end of the day, for good things to happen. You know what I mean? So that would suggest, if that's true, that there is another proper villain waiting in the wings. Whether or not we'll get a full-blown introduction, I doubt we will. We'll probably get sort of a hint at something, because it's too late in the game to just straight up introduce somebody. But I do think we'll probably get a hint as to what forces may be at play behind the scenes. Give me a second here, because I'm trying to figure out what the heck keeps causing these pop-ups. Where are these coming from? Anyway, I'm not going to worry about that right now. But yeah, so I'm excited to get into this finale and see how everything plays out. And glad you guys are here to watch it with me. Let's see what happens.
Previously on WandaVision.
Snooper's gonna snoop.
I actually missed that mid-credit scene because I didn't realize that they had started adding them in episode 7. But I saw it in someone else's reaction video. I think it was Mary Cherry.
Well, that's just it, Wanda. He isn't yours. He's ours.
Hayward is very suspicious.
This is chaos magic, Wanda. But that makes you the Scarlet Witch.
There's another reference I had forgotten. Marvel had long ago set up the idea in the comic books, back in the 80s, I think late 80s, this idea of a Scarlet Witch being a being of incredible power that could wield chaos magic and do all these other things. So I had forgotten all about that. Like the reason she was called the Scarlet Witch in the first place. I always get so happy when this logo is playing. Just makes me really happy. It's my childhood being made into blockbuster movies and TV shows. Oh, right back into it.
Go to your room.
No way, we're staying with you.
Oh, that was cool. Oh, so they are just playing with the idea of Agatha as like an energy vampire.
It's kind of my thing.
Creative solution to a problem. Can't hit her directly, hit her with something else. Oh, that's interesting. Is the hand that's already started to decay had like a little flicker as the power went. Haha, Wizard of Oz reference. Nice. Nice touch. Oh, wow. Okay. This is bad. There's been a theory that the White Vision will have Ultron's personality, as a kernel of it may have survived. I like that idea, actually, but I don't think that's what they're going to do.
Is it really you?
So in the comics, White Vision had no memories from his previous self. She honestly should have been able to get out of that on her own, but I don't...
I know why you made this world, but this...
I can fix it.
Can you?
Yeah, she can. The question is, should she?
This is awkward. Your ex and your boyfriend together at the same party.
The consequences of his super speed. And the vision Wanda created definitely seems to be more real. He has a better understanding of what he is and can do than White Vision does. And he's been studying a lot of magic since dealing with Scott.
Flourish.
Flourish! Well, no time to care about who sees you doing stuff now. Why does this feel like The Incredibles?
Did you know there's an entire chapter devoted to you in the Darkhold?
What?
That's the Book of the Damned.
So that was the Darkhold.
Your power exceeds that of the Sorcerer Supreme.
Whoa, that's dangerous. A quick reminder, the MCU does not currently have a Sorcerer Supreme because Doctor Strange has not yet been elevated to that. So the amazing thing about this isn't just how much magical power is necessary to do this, but think about the cognitive power you would need to have to be able to run this many independent personalities. That makes her a genius, like a super genius. But then again, everyone in her family usually is, if we go into mutants.
Relax, you know, while the missus is stirring up trouble.
While the missus is stirring up trouble. So is he Ralph? So she transmuted her husband then, I guess.
You're Ralph Boner?
Boner? I love how he has a kid shot.
She's feisty.
Oh, so that's the point of the beads. I've been seeing those a lot.
Oh God, please, spare my life.
Nice to meet you, Ralph.
So there's one question answered. There really was a Ralph.
I've kept you safe in here. You feel at peace.
We feel your pain.
Your grief is poisoning us.
No, stop.
Please, let us go.
This is a brilliant analysis or representation of the abuse cycle as well. I can almost hear her saying, "Look what you made me do."
Let us go. Just let us die.
Heroes don't torture people.
Now Agatha goes back and forth, doesn't she? why the hex is necessary to keep him in existence. Oh, them
Now,
too?
you see? You tied your family to this twisted world, and now one can't exist without the other.
She should be able to... Oh, nice touch having the blocks. She should be able to make them independent of this. But she doesn't know what she's doing. That's the problem. She has the power, but not the skill.
Are you okay?
Oh, man. I'm gonna freaking cry. Wanda's never allowed to have nice things. This really feels like The Incredibles now. I don't know why.
Your mother and I never really prepared you for this.
But you were born for it.
Hey, are they Avengers now?
My programming directive is to destroy the Vision. But I'm not the true Vision. Only a conditional Vision.
Oh, is he gonna use a logic paradox on him?
I request elaboration.
How do you deal with logical beings? You trick them with logic.
Boys, handle the military. Mommy will be right back.
That was badass. Oh, hey, she's a fast learner, though. And so are the kids, apparently. Alright, what are you, Hayward?
No, stand down!
Well, someone's got her full, got like, all the powers now. I remember this character. Good job. Good job, Magic. Or Wiccan, I'm sorry. Yeah, Magic's a girl. Wait, oh yeah, that's right, those guys are frozen. I was about to say, why are they shooting? I was wondering when Darkseid was gonna come back into this.
Have fun in prison!
Seriously, what is his deal?
With the
He's...
thought experiment, the ship of Theseus. The ship of Theseus is an artifact in a museum. Over time, its planks of wood rot and are replaced with new planks. When no original plank remains, is it still the ship of Theseus?
Oh, yeah.
Secondly,
Classic logic
if those
puzzle.
removed planks are restored and reassembled
Or
free of the
philosophical
rot,
puzzle.
is that the ship of Theseus? Neither is the true ship. Both are the true ship.
So the solution is obvious. They are both the real Vision and neither of them are. Such a brilliant idea.
I am Vision.
That means that either way, Wanda's gonna lose. Oh, nice callback to her, the first time we ever saw her. Well, technically second time we ever saw her. But like, the way she used her powers in Age of Ultron.
See the difference between you and me. So you did this on purpose.
No, please. I beg you. I beg you. No. No, no!
I feel sorry for Agatha, honestly. On some level, anyway. Huh. This is the way magic is supposed to work, honestly. Like, battles between wizards are supposed to come down to wits, basically. Like, who is the most creative and intelligent in the use of their powers?
You are the Scarlet Witch,
Told you so.
harbinger of chaos.
I really don't know what to make of Agatha. I really
Can't
don't.
win, Wanda. Power isn't your problem, it's knowledge.
Is the goddess of magic deciding to weigh in here? Interesting call back to what Agatha did. Oh, those are famous last words. You can't take everything she's got. It's too much for you, baby. Careful what you wish for, Agatha.
Once cast, a spell can never be changed. This world you made will always be broken, just like you.
Interesting little bit of lore we just learned about the way magic works in Marvel. I like that wrinkle. Once cast, the spell cannot be changed. What did you do, Wanda? Very fast learner. Did she take her magic instead? She learned the runes! She made the entire hex into a room in which only she can use magic. Oh, that's brilliant. Damn, she's a fast learner. Tell you, that entire freaking genealogy is all geniuses.
In a given space, only the witch who cast them can use her magic. Thanks for the lesson.
Wait, but if that's true, how's Agatha still floating right now? I mean, isn't that magic? Fans have waited so long for this moment. That is so fucking epic. How are you still floating?
Oh God. You don't know what you've done.
Why'd you goad her into it then? And she took your magic without killing you. Oh, that looks really good.
So what now? Just gonna lock me up somewhere?
No, not somewhere.
Here?
Here, I'll give you the role you chose. The nosy neighbor.
Wait.
Oh, that's disturbing.
Hiya, hun.
It's a really creative way to fulfill Agatha's role as her original teacher.
You live here now. No one will ever bother you.
Okie dokie, artichoke.
Damn, Catherine Hahn is a great actress. So are we getting a second season?
It would appear that our dream home has been reduced to a fixer-upper. I know you'll set everything right.
You have to make a choice now, Wanda.
Just not for us.
No. Not for us.
It's time. Should we head home?
Yeah.
There are never any happy endings for Wanda. So I guess they're gonna go to sleep one last time and never wake up.
Your mother and I... very proud of you both.
Very proud. You know, a family is forever. We could never truly leave each other, even if we tried. You know that, right?
They'll deserve like a whole freaking shipload of Emmys.
Boys, thanks for choosing me to be your mom.
read somewhere that it's bad luck to say goodbye in the dark.
No, you
No. Perhaps not. Perhaps. Just wanted to see you clearly. And there you are.
It's like watching the sunset together, except tragic.
Before I go, I feel I must know. What am I?
You are my sadness. And my hope. But mostly you're my love.
Oh.
I have been a voice with no body. A body but not human, and now a memory made real. Who knows what I might be next?
Vision is so great.
We have said goodbye before, so it stands to reason.
We'll say hello again.
So long, darling.
She needs someone to teach her. If she had known what she was doing, none of this would have happened. She would have been able to bring him back properly. There's no way you could ever atone for what you did to those people.
I'm sorry for all the pain I caused.
I know.
I don't understand this power, but I will.
You'd have to go find Doctor Strange now. I believe that was her second teacher in the comics.
Bye, Wanda. Good luck.
Oh, I really dig this costume. Man, I should have known. I mean, I cry at everything. I really should have known I was going to cry at this, considering Wanda's story is always so tragic in the comics, and I knew she wasn't going to have a happy ending. But at least now she knows some more about what she is, what she can do, and understands that she has the responsibility to learn how to use this power in a way that benefits the world instead of threatens it. Destiny's a load of bullshit. You are who you decide to be. Obviously, within reason. The world, what happens to you will always shape how that works and how you're able to manifest yourself. But ultimately, as long as you still have breath and strength in you and everything else, and a will, you can make as much movement as possible towards who you really want to be. You may not ultimately get there, but at least you'll get close. You'll never get anywhere if you don't try. So I'm assuming there's going to be some sort of mid or end credits thing here. Now that since it's supposed to lead into, this is the big kickoff of the new phase.
Authority looks good on you, Jimmy.
Where's Darcy?
Something about debriefs are for the week.
Darcy. Was I the only one that felt like there was chemistry between Jimmy and Darcy? I hope they meet up again. Who's asking? Okay, who are you? Who are you, lady?
I was sent by an old friend of your mother's.
Ah, okay.
He heard you've been grounded. He'd like to meet with you.
Where?
I'm assuming it's Talos? That was his name, right? I'm pretty sure it's Talos. Yeah, your true purpose is in space. Spectrum. Is that the only one we're getting? Because that didn't seem like much of a... I mean, granted, a teaser for the fact that Spectrum's going to have a role to play in the future, but it seems like, I don't know, I expected them to do something hinting at the future of the overall MCU. And especially with Doctor Strange, because we know this is supposed to lead right into Doctor Strange's movie. I like this, like, heroic / foreboding version of Wanda's theme. Oh, here we go. Figured there had to be something else. Where is this? Feels like Alaska or something. This reminds me of the end of Oblivion. Also, she made herself a little house. I'm assuming she's out here practicing. Start small first and then work your way up when you're learning a new skill. I think I'm going to make some tea after this. I love tea. Uncle Iroh's my spirit animal. Alright, who are we pushing through to? Is she living with white vision or... Oh, wow! Someone... just like we saw with Doctor Strange. How he would make... Well... What? Alright, so that was clearly getting into the storyline of their nature as it ties in with Mephisto, it seems. So they're like trapped in, I guess you could call it the limbo that is Mephisto's spirit. I won't say soul because I don't think that's really how it works with him. Wow. Okay, so, whew. I almost feel like I should probably take some time to collect my thoughts, but that's not usually how I do things. I will usually just try to express how I feel right from the, like fresh from the episode, you know? I think that little stinger at the end, not only hinting at the Mephisto involvement probably, but it also, in a way, felt a little bit like a palate cleanser somewhat for the loss and the tragedy we just saw Wanda go through for who knows how many times now. This is like literally what is this the third time we've had to see, and she's had to see Vision die. But it kind of gives hope because if the boys still exist in some form, and if she can bring them back, which I'm assuming she's going to be learning to do, then Vision, not just white Vision, but Vision, period, still exists. And not just physically, is what I mean, like his, again, I hate to use the word soul, but like, whatever. It still exists, and there's hope for her to somehow get a happy ending, or close to it. But we also got shades of what Agatha said, and was kind of right to a degree. Wanda is cruel, somewhat. The way she punished Agatha was cruel. Oh, and Jesus Christ, I just thought about it. She's reading the freaking. So I guess that was confirmed to be the Darkhold at the end that Agatha had, and Wanda appears to be studying it. And we all know from previous encounters with the Darkhold that people tend to be corrupted by studying it. So hopefully Wanda doesn't succumb to the power of the Darkhold. I expected Doctor Strange to be there at the end or in some way because she does need a teacher, and I think at this point, even though he's still not Sorcerer Supreme unless it for some weird reason happened off screen, he probably is one of the best options to train her. For one thing, he's had previous interactions with her that were of a heroic nature, which is good because that will probably help him see past some of what she did in Westview. And I don't know if he's had a chance to learn about the concept of the Scarlet Witch yet. If he has, he might be more on guard against her. If he hasn't, then maybe he'll be a bit more open. But either way, she needs someone to train her. Power without control is extremely dangerous. Granted, power with control is extremely dangerous too, but it's a lot less likely to be randomly so, you know? And when you're dealing with chaos magic to begin with, I mean, the word chaos is in there for a reason. So we don't want to have more unpredictability than we're already going to get. I thought it was sweet, even though, of course, it made me cry, how Vision, who really is, he's just got the soul of a poet, you know? How he accepted his fate and helped Wanda accept it too. That was really beautiful. Those two, you see why they're my favorite couple in comics. Those two belong together in ways that, you know, we talk, everybody has the concept. Not everybody believes in it, but everybody pretty much knows the concept of a soulmate, you know? Those two express that idea better than just about any characters I've ever seen. This idea of being essentially almost made for each other, you know? I'm gonna tear up again over here. But anyway, I look forward. I'm glad Catherine Hahn's character, Agatha Harkness, survived. It did pretty much, the way they handled her at the end did pretty much set her up so that she could continue in the role that she has in the comics, where she is a mentor to Wanda and a reluctant, well, sometimes reluctant, sometimes willing helper and solver of problems for people who are out of their depth magically, or dealing with beings with like reality altering abilities. And Catherine Hahn, she killed that role. So I'm glad she's still around. Her character still exists so that we can see more of her. I'm really happy about that. It'll be interesting to see where the character of Monica Rambeau is going to go. Spectrum is very powerful in the comics. Pretty much on par with, even though the powers are different, but it's similar to Captain Marvel in terms of like raw power she can kind of throw around. I think in some aspects she exceeds the power of Captain Marvel with in terms of just pure energy projection and manipulation. Plus, of course, she's got training that should. It'd be interesting to see how she moves forward in her new role. I'm hoping that it really is Talos that she's going to meet, and not some weird thing where it's a different faction of Skrulls that are trying to trick her so they can use her power for their own purposes. Because we got to remember, just because the Skrulls in Captain Marvel were you know, not antagonistic, just trying to find a home and everything, doesn't mean that all Skrulls are going to be that way. Every race of beings is going to have good and bad in it. So who knows what this faction is all about. It could even be hinting at a future Secret Wars storyline. I don't know. But I really like the series. The beginning part of this episode was feeling a little lackluster to me because it was just feeling a little samey for a lot of finales for action movies and action oriented shows, but I liked how it developed over time and where it went. I remember seeing, I did everything I could to avoid any spoilers, but I do remember seeing an article with a headline that said that this episode was all about closure. And I have to agree, Wanda at least got that, you know, she got to come to terms with the reality of what happened. And you know, before, when Vision was killed by Thanos. And I think that was a huge weight that needed to be lifted off of her so she could move forward as a person. So I'm glad at least that she got that, even though she didn't get her happy ending. But that's I don't know, I can't really think of any more coherent thoughts right now because I'm just hurting inside because I love Wanda so much, and I think she's just, you know, she deserves happiness, you know, and it's like the universe never wants to give it to her. And so I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. If you guys liked this reaction, first of all, thanks for sticking with me to the end, and you know, I hope you liked it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to my channel. I am very busy, but I do try to put up to react to as much as I can and to get it up onto YouTube as quickly as I can. That is a challenge. It should become a little less so because I'm at the end of this month. This is March 2021. At the end of this month, I am moving back up to my hometown, well, near my hometown. My situation up there should give me a little more time to focus on this. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I hope to be able to bring you guys a lot more content once that move is done. But anyway, thanks again for sticking with me to the end. I hope you get to see you guys for the next video, whatever that will be. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier should be premiering next week. I don't know if Marvel's gonna stick to a Friday release schedule or not, but we'll see. And I look forward to seeing you guys when that happens. Thanks again. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.